catch a freight train, leave this town. Don't know hobos hanging around, hanging around, hanging around, just hanging around. Don't know hobos hanging around.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Said you'll have to pay. Got no money but upon my shoes. On and go west, got the Milwaukee blues. Milwaukee blues. Milwaukee blues. Oh, the Milwaukee blues. Gotta go west, got the Milwaukee blues. So the bows can ride. When they ride their rods. Put their trust in the hands of God. Hands of God. Hands of God. In the hands of God.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Put their trust in the hands of God. Oh, that's Marty then.
Going after the ID, after the ID.
The Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe. Santa Fe. Well, the Santa Fe. Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe.
30 seconds.
All right, y'all. Don't forget, we need your help. No throwing your roses at us.
15 seconds.
Broadcasting from the birthplace
10.
of country music. This is WB.
5, 4, 3.
In the blue hills of Virginia, where the tall pines kiss the sky, how my heart thrills in Virginia when the love shines in your eyes. In the evening you're a picture so fair, mellow moonbeams kissing your hair. In the blue hills of Virginia, I hope to win ya, sweetheart mine.
Radio Bristol presents Farm and Fun Time. Made possible by Eastman Credit Union. Wherever life takes you, ECU is by your side.
In the evening, you're a picture so fair, mellow moonbeams kissing your hair. In the blue hills of Virginia, I hope to win ya, sweetheart mine.
Thank y'all! Live from the McLaughlin Performance Theater at the birthplace of Country Music Museum. I'm your host, Farm and Fun Timer Chris Trulson here, welcoming you to another live broadcast of Farm and Fun Time, a special lovey-dovey lovebird broadcast. How is everybody? That's right, Valentine's Day is almost here. Love is in the air, is it not, folks? It is. It is. You probably can't see it at home, but we handed out a whole bunch of roses. Thanks to a generous donor from the 1927 Society. We want to thank that anonymous donor for supplying those beautiful roses to our audience. Well, we've got an absolutely fantastic show for you as usual tonight. It's going to be really, really great, highlighting regional music of both the past and the present. We've got great entertainers here with us, including the Cody Norris Show from Mountain City. And a couple of masterful, virtuosic regional guitar players. We've got the celebrated picker and luthier, Wayne Henderson, here. along with the amazing Presley Barker. And this is something I'm particularly excited about. We've got a special segment this month featuring some music and background surrounding a recently discovered transcription disc from the original Farm and Fun Time, which we actually just heard in its entirety before the show started this evening. And it features the Stanley Brothers, and it's from about circa 1950. Has never been played commercially in about 70 years or so. So we're going to hear that. We're going to learn a little bit about the history of how that restoration came to be as well. Renee Rogers, head curator from the museum, is going to join us for that.
All right.
And for this month's farm report, we're visiting a different kind of farm, the fish farm. We went to Irwin National Fish Hatchery to talk with Norm Heil about the incredible production that they have there in Irwin. Go fish. And first things first, we've got, of course, Bill in the bells here. We've got Helena Hunt on the banjo, Andrew Small on the bass, and Clea Yeagle on the fiddle. And I told you we were gonna get romantical, so we'll do that. This is we're gonna do a love set. This one here is called "I Told Them All About You." 1, 2, 3. Just how pretty you smile. Oh, I told them all about you. I told this little bird every single little word that you say is worthwhile. Oh, I told them all about you. I told the moon and every single star that shines above the way you roll your eyes and how you can love. Each little honeybee knows there's gonna be a honeymoon for two. Oh, I told them all about you. Yes, we did. I told the whippoorwill just how pretty you smile. Oh, I told them all about you. I told each little bird every single little word that you say is worthwhile. Oh, I told them all about you. I told the moon and every little star that shines above where you roll your eyes and how you could love. Each little honeybee knows there's gonna be a honeymoon for two. Oh, I told them all about you. Yes, I told them all about you. Told them all about you. All right, that's one we've been playing for a long time, and this next one is a brand new one for us. This is a kind of an obscure song, but it's a really, really beautiful, beautiful tune from a band called Harold and Hazel, kind of an obscure band from the late 20s. This song here is called Wait for Me, and we're going to feature Kalia and Helena on this one.
Wait for me at the close of a long, long day, when night comes in view see you. In your arms, all my worries will fade away at the close of a long, long day. Sweetheart, when twilight shadows fall, my heart longs for you, dear.
Helena Hunt and Kalia Yeagle. And now, folks, time for a word from a generous sponsor, Eastman Credit Union.
Hi there, how you doing? Hope you don't mind us crooning about Eastman Credit Union. They're the reason that you're able to tune in. If you like all the things that we're doing, let me know how much you're approving. Say thank you, Eastman Credit Union.
Yes, tell them thanks for their support of Radio Bristol's Farm and Fun Time. Remember, ECU is there for you. From using your phone to transfer money, to making a deposit, signing loan documents from anywhere. For more information, visit ecu.org and join Farm and Fun Time and say,
thank you, Eastman Credit Union.
hey, thanks. Thank you, Eastman Credit Union, for your support of Farm and Fun Time. All right, for our first segment this evening, we're going to get you a special treat. As mentioned a few years ago, we had a wonderful donor, Glenn Harlow, called, and he said that he stumbled across a rare transcription disc from the original Farm and Fun Time featuring the famed Stanley Brothers, and asked if it would be of interest to the museum. It most certainly was, as it was a disc that had never been commercially released and was, of course, a rare, unheard piece of Farm and Fun Time history. The disc, however, was damaged and in disrepair, but with the help of our museum staff and outside experts, it was eventually restored. And tonight, to tell us more about this fascinating story and to play us some songs from this incredible record, we have the head curator of the Birthplace of Country Music, Renee Rogers, here. As head curator, Renee focuses on our permanent and special exhibits and is responsible for coordinating and creating content and interpretation for the Birthplace of Country Music blog and oversees the museum's public and educational programming. So please give a big old farm and fun time welcome to Renee Rogers.
Well, hello everyone, and this is a really great story, so get ready. As Chris mentioned, in March 2017, we were approached by local musician and WZAP radio manager Glenn Harlow with this wonderful transcription disc from the original WCYB's original Farm and Fun Time, which was on the air in the 1940s and 50s, and he wanted to donate it to the museum. The disc held 9 cuts by the Clinch Mountain Boys. This band, which was headed by Carter and Ralph Stanley, were featured on the very first episode of Farm and Fun Time. And they continued to play on the show on and off over the next decade, so they were very regular participants in that show. Discs that are used to record radio broadcasts in the mid-20th century were highly unstable and prone to degradation, and this one was no different. It was fragile and badly damaged, with broken off pieces and several areas of delamination. Before the advent of magnetic tape, instantaneous recordings like these were usually made on what were called lacquer discs. And this is where there was an aluminum core with lacquer coating on top. And as things cooled or heated up, it would move. It would shrink or get bigger. And that meant that the lacquer would break, but the aluminum core would stay the same size. And the lacquer became very brittle. The Farm and Fun Time disc had this problem. You could see it, you could see the pieces, you could see the delamination, and essentially it was unplayable. And until recently, recordings on degraded lacquer discs like this one were usually lost forever. This disc as an artifact is pretty cool. You saw pictures of it earlier. It still looks really cool. And we knew that we could work to conserve it so that we could put it on display in the museum and leave it at that. But we also asked ourselves, what if we could also recover that sound? Luckily for us, there was an organization out there that did this type of work. Starting in 2014, the Northeast Document Conservation Center, known as NEDCC, began offering audio preservation services using a new technology called IRENE. This process involves creating highly detailed images of the grooves on a disc and recreating the sound from those images. The recordings can be heard again without a stylus ever getting near the disc itself and damaging it further. Buried treasure is revealed without ever touching the disc at all. Of course, proper preservation like this, it costs a lot of money. And we didn't have the budget to tackle a high-tech specialist project like this. And that's when we got lucky again. In 2018, the Virginia Association of Museums Top 10 Endangered Artifacts program opened up a People's Choice voting contest. Museums and cultural sites were invited to nominate their artifact as a preservation priority in the state. And from that list, 10 artifacts were chosen, and our Farm and Fun Time transcription disc was one of them. Yeah, which was exciting, yeah. So we were one of the 10. As the competition opened up, we found that our disc was facing off against a lot of really great objects, worthy and significant objects all across the state of Virginia, such as an Oddfellows ceremonial collar, a D-Day Order of the Day, and most scarily and most excitingly, an 18th century merchant ship that was being excavated in Alexandria, Virginia. That's what we were up against. Over the voting period, we saw our artifact rise and fall in the ranks. It was about a 2-3 week voting period, often neck and neck with that Alexandria ship. And it was really interesting because during the day, they would get ahead of us, and then the next morning we would be ahead of them because music lovers are up at night. And thanks to BCM's fans, supporters, and music lovers everywhere, in the end, we won the most votes. And I think it really is about the fact that we had all those night owls out there. We won an award of $5,000 to be used towards the preservation of this disc. That was hugely significant and actually would cover the full cost of what we wanted to do. We soon had an agreement with NEDCC for them to work on it, neither of us knowing for sure what the result would be. The NEDCC prepared a special case for transporting the disc, and curatorial team member Scotty Almany drove the fragile object up to the labs in Massachusetts. Bryce Rowe and her team got to work on the disc soon after. A long and painstaking process that took over a year. First, they carefully puzzled the separated pieces of lacquer back together on the disc, again, trying not to touch them with their hands, of course, lining up the grooves as best as possible. Then their Irene camera took microscopic images of the disc's grooves, and those images were analyzed in a software called Weaver to produce an audio file. The NEDCC's goal was to produce a digital file that most accurately represents the audio file on this disc in its current condition, so as it is as we see it today. And despite the damage on this Farm and Funtime disc, the raw audio is remarkably listenable. You heard it earlier. I mean, it was pretty good. And as Bryce said, and this is something that she can attest to because they had a lot of bluegrass fans up there at NEDCC, the true measure of the success of this project was that she said that the audio was not only listenable, but it was also danceable. Bryce and her team also created cleaned up audio files. And this is a project that's fairly subjective, but they work really hard to respect that content. That cleaned up audio is still listenable, but it reminds us of the disc's condition and the technology that actually made that disc possible, so keeping its place in history. Finally, the quality of the original recording plays a large role in the fidelity of the audio. In this case, it probably helps that the recording took place in a studio with professional audio engineers at WCYB, and that the musicians were pros too and they knew how to work the microphone. The result is what you've listened to tonight before Farm and Funtime, and you're going to get a few clips of it now too, about 2 minutes worth, I believe. And it's something that we're inordinately proud of and grateful to have, a tangible and entertaining piece of our history here in Bristol. Thank you very much.
We're going to try to sing a duet number for you on the program, and out for myself. This is our latest release on Columbia Records. If y'all like to have it in your homes, well, you can find it at any record store. Go down and ask them about it. They'll be glad to show it to you and play it for you, I'm sure. It's entitled, We'll Be Sweethearts in Heaven. Darling, do you really love me? Are you the girl I used to know? Something's happened to you, darling, but it pleases me to know. Friends, the next number here on the program has kind of been a trademark for the Space Mountain Boys around over the country. It's one we introduced here on Farm and Funtime, and Ralph made a record of it about, how long ago, Ralph?
Oh, about 3 years ago.
All right, let's see if you can sing it like you did then. Little Maggie. Over yonder stands little Maggie with a dram glass in her hand. Oh, no. She's drinking down her troubles and courting some other man. All right, friends, right on down the road we go here on Farm and Funtime today. A duet number we'd like to do for you now. See, you'll hit me out a little bit on it. It's called the 9-Pound Hammer.
All right. What do y'all think of that? Pretty amazing. It really is an incredible project. To learn more about the restoration project for the Farm and Fun Time transcription disc, visit birthplaceofcountrymusic.org. A big thanks to Renee Rogers for giving us some background about this amazing piece of Bristol and Farm and Fun Time history. Pretty special, folks. All right, y'all ready for our first featured act of the evening? Coming to us from right down the road in Mountain City, Tennessee, the Cody Norris Show embodies the sound and energy of country and bluegrass music of days gone by. They continue to carry on the traditions of Johnson County, Tennessee's deep country music legacy. Founded nearly a decade ago, Cody and his group stay incredibly busy both nationally and internationally. When they have a little bit of downtime, they come here to the museum and they record the Farm and Fun Time Noon Show, which is our extension program, which we love. I hope that you all have heard it. Have you heard it? Good. These guys just recently signed to Rebel Records. They're going to have a really big year in store for them. We're really proud of this band. Do y'all mind? They wrote a Farm and Fun Time jingle that I think would be very fitting to kick off this segment. Would that be all right?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, the Cody Norris Show, everybody.
Howdy, neighbor, howdy, how do you do? Here we are back in a big sing for you. We're so glad to be here, your time we're gonna share. Farm and Fun Time back on the air. Oh, Farm and Fun Time this week featuring Billy the Bills, Wayne Henderson, Presley, Parker, and what's left of the Cody Norris Show. Farm and Fun Time back on the air. Feed him on, all I need for a little girl, feed him well gone. I'm going on the mountain, so a little cane, raise a barrel of sorghum, sweet Eliza Jane. I got a big home in the bin, gonna feed him on, all I need for a little girl, feed him well gone. Feed him on, all I need for the girl, feed him well gone. Oh, yeah! Well, that big eight wheeler rolling down the track means a true love and daddy ain't coming back. I'm a moving on, I'm a rolling on. You've been flying too high for my little old sky. Moving on. Said the big loud whistle as the blue man blue said hello to the south and coming to you. We're moving on. We're rolling on. You've had the life on me. I'll be setting you free and I'm moving on. Oh, let's move it on now. Your engine, I ain't got time for a traffic woman on my main line. I'm a moving on. You done your dad, you're wrong. You had to let on me, I'll be setting you free and I'm moving on. Now, Mr. Fireman, won't you please listen to me because I got a pretty mama in Tennessee. Keep moving on, keep her rolling on. You're gonna ease my mind and put me there on time and keep her rolling on. Roller, Joe boy. Oh, how about it, Josiah Tyree? In the southern land, keep her moving on, keep her rolling on. Oh, let's shovel the coal, let the rattler roll, keep moving on. Oh, but someday baby, when you've had your play, you're gonna want your daddy, but your daddy will say, keep moving on, keep rolling on. And you know it's goodbye, Joe, and we gotta go, keep moving on. Oh, yeah. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you're wonderful. Thank you. So good to be here with the Farm and Fun Time Show. Hope you're going to enjoy something we've got picked out for you. We've been busy as beavers. Everybody wants to know where you been, what you doing. Yesterday we were in Dallas, Texas. Today we're in Bristol. Tomorrow we're going to Boston, Massachusetts. Sunday we're going to San Antonio.
Yeah. When we coming home?
Ain't no time soon. I want to introduce you to everybody. Before we go any further in the show, how many of you folks are here tonight? Good, good. So glad you could be with us. We're glad to have the rest of you too. Right over here with the 5-string banjo. He's been with our little show 3 years, does a phenomenal job. Make him welcome as he comes around to the mic. Josiah Tyree right there, okay? Hey, Joe.
Yeah, Cody.
I'd like you to sing them one. Would you do that?
Want me to sing 'em
How about
one?
my Rose of Old Kentucky? Would you do that?
I love that. Well, I got to get up a chord higher than what I put it in.
You do that? You can sing in a chord higher than the ones we play in?
Mm-hmm. I'm
While
that
we're
good.
still playing in the other one.
Well, don't ask me them kind of questions, Cody.
I forgot you do pick the banjo for a living, don't you? My Rose of Old Kentucky.
She bloomed for me in a little village in a cabin on the hill. But we love each other, and I know we always will. She my Rose of Old Kentucky. I watched her bloom as years go by. Told me there'll never be another. I love her till the day I die. Now I know you often wonder, can I tell you the reason why? She my Rose of Old Kentucky, and my darling would ever lie. She my Rose of Old Kentucky. I watched her bloom as years go by. Told me there'll never be another. I love her till the day I die.
All right, Josiah Tyree. Oh, mighty fine, mighty fine. Oh, yeah, sounding good. Right back here real quick, sitting in with us tonight with the bass fiddle. Does a good job. He's worked with it a lot off and on the last year or so. Make him welcome from Johnson City, Tennessee, Corey Jeter back here in the bass fiddle, okay? Folks, I'd like to take a golden opportunity right now to introduce to you a fiddle player that, in my opinion, has probably done more than many. Been on the Grand Ole Opry over 100 times, traveled with so many of the top groups in bluegrass and country music, got music archived in the Smithsonian, the University of Chicago, held in such high regard among their peers. Why, if you knew it all, it'd just blow your mind. I'm sorry as I can be they couldn't be here with us tonight, but we've got a girl over here doing a good job, and she's a wonderful fiddle player. And as of September 21st, I hope she retires in this group, because that day she's made me start wearing one of these.
Hey, they might know about that already.
You think they might know about that day?
Well, I mean, yeah. Who was there?
Oh, looky there now. Make her welcome, if you would, my little sweetie, Miss Mary Rachel. Oh, yeah.
What do you want to do?
Mary, let's feature one from your award-winning album from the National Traditional Country Music Association. This won Bluegrass Fiddle Album of the Year 2018. We're very proud of that. We'll let her play you one that she does a fine job on. We hope you'll enjoy Washington County.
doing a fine job, fine job. We're going to get her to come around and sing you one right now. This one's also included in the album. Speaking of the albums, we've got all that merchandise set up right outside out there. Do come by and check that out. We've got a wide assortment of records, tapes, keychains, bumper stickers, car seats, ball caps, and commode lids. So come by, check it out. You certainly won't want to miss any of that. Folks, everything I sell got 100% money back guarantee. If you buy that and you don't like it, I don't want you to keep it. Bring it back to the next Farm and Fun Time show, and Bill and the Bells will give you your money back for anything you buy off me. So keep that in mind. Mary Rachel, come in and sing one from the album if you would. And honey, I just love to hear you sing this one.
You do.
You just create lyrical magic with this. It just feels everywhere we play. Everybody can just feel it in their heart.
Well, thank you. So it has nothing to do with all that fancy guitar picking you're
No,
gonna
Lord,
do.
I ain't going to do none of that here tonight.
You bet so.
We got Presley
Wait,
and Wayne
why?
here. Them boys know how to play a guitar. I'm gonna play it as simple as I know
play it
how.
simple.
I am. I'll have to. I don't know nothing else. Here we go.
In a little cabaret in a South Texas border town, set a boy in his guitar, and the people came from all around. And all from there to Austin, were slipping away from home and putting jewelry in coffee cake. Go and listen to the little dark-haired boy who played the Tennessee flat top box, and he would play.
Hey, Mary, here's one just for you, honey.
Go ahead and get it out of the way. Well, he couldn't ride a ring, and he never cared to make a dime, but give him his guitar, and he'd be happy all the time. All the girls from 9 to 90 were snapping fingers, tapping toes, and begging him don't stop, and hypnotized and fascinated by the little dark-haired boy who played the Tennessee flat top box, and he would play. Are you done?
Yeah.
He's finally learning. Thank you.
Already told.
Then one day he was gone, no one ever saw him round. He vanished like a breeze. They forgot him in the little town, and all the girls still dreamed about him and hung around the cabaret until the doors locked. And then one day on the hip parade was a little dark-haired boy who played the Tennessee flat top box, and he would show off. That's enough.
That's the wrong song, ain't it?
Yeah. That's not this song.
That ain't.
We did that a minute ago.
Is that the?
That's a minute ago.
Wait, let's just end it.
right.
Yeah. Oh, Miss Mary Rachel in the Tennessee flat top box. Mighty fine. No, keep that. Oh, thank you so much. Folks, we've got time to do you about 2 more songs, so we'll do the first one first, and then we'll close with the second one. And this one right here, this is a brand new song, and actually we debuted this
on Farm and Fun Time. Actually, during Rhythm and Roots, we did something a little different at our wedding reception. We left. And we came to Rhythm and Roots and played on Farm and Fun Time. So, and this song, we're actually planning to record this in the upcoming album on Rebel Records. We're very excited about it, and it seems like everybody all over the country enjoys it. But you know, when a song is a true song, and someone's lived that, sometimes why it does really come across very strong. And this song is the memoirs of a sad, broken-hearted, nervous, down and out, soon-to-be groom. And I wrote this the week before the wedding. And anyway, we'll hope you'll enjoy this one entitled The Love Bug. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, everywhere I go, everybody I know, they just look at me and smile. They say the boy's been bit by the old love bug and he'll be hitched in a little while. Well, he's pretty little girl, but my heart in a whirl, I'm acting like a clown. You know, the birds and the bees made a monkey out of me. They turned me upside down. Crazy things I do, I act like a fool. Doctor, can you explain? He said there ain't no doubt this thing will straighten out when you change that little girl's name. And I'm about ready, and you love song to sing. But if I wanna call her honey, gonna have to spend the money on the shiny diamond ring. Oh, in the church I stand beside the preacher man. How'd I get in this spot? I can feel that rope tighten up around my neck, and I ain't even tied a knot. Crazy things I do, act like a fool. Doctor, can you explain? He said there ain't no doubt this thing will straighten out when you change that little girl's name. Was fun, but Mr. Cupid, you're to blame. You see, I got me a wife, now the rest of my life will never be the same. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Folks, you've been an absolutely wonderful audience. We've certainly enjoyed getting to come out and play and sing for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Check us out on the World Wide Web, www.thecodynorrisshow.com. Remember, friends, that's Cody with a K. Anything else would just be Sody, and I wouldn't want you to get confused. All right. Thanks to everybody here at the museum for having us. We've had a big time. Down through the last several years, we worked on RFD TV, on many of the different programs. This has been our #1 requested number, and we'll sing it for you here tonight. You folks have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of the show. It don't do a thing but get better from here, I'm telling you that. All right, are you ready to go now? Here we go. Hey, well, all right, sir. Here we go there. What do you want to give for it? Arkansas, and he wouldn't listen to his mom. She told him that he should go to school. Then he'd sneak away the afternoon, take a little walk, and pretty soon you find him at the local auction barn. Then he'd stand and listen carefully, then pretty soon he began to see how the auctioneer would talk so rapidly. So he said, oh my, do or die, I've got to learn that auction craft to make my market be an auctioneer. 35 to the middle of the foot of the foot, when you give for to make it for the bill, on for the yard, give it for the heel, a bit of foot of the bill. Well, it's a foot of the middle of the 45, give me for the make it for the bit of 45, heel, a bit of $45 bill. Oh, yeah. Always wondered what it felt like to be Marty Robbins. From that day on, he did his best. He all could see. He didn't just practice the column both night and day. Then he's back behind the barn and working up an awful storm, trying to imitate the auctioneer. Then his pap said, son, we just can't stand to have a mediocre man instead of things at auction using our good name. So I'm gonna send you off to auction school, then you be nobody's fool. You'll take your place among the men. 35 to the middle of the foot of the foot, when you give him for the make it for the middle, what do you all give him for the heel, a bit of foot of the bill. Well,
in the West Texas town of El Patino. So now from the boy that went to school, he grew a man that played it cool. He came back home a full-fed auctioneer, and all of the people came from miles around to hear him make the rhythmic sound to fill their hearts in such a happy cheer. Then his fame went out from shore to shore, and he had all he could do and more. Had to buy a plane to get around. Oh, now he's the top in all the land. That's all to give that man a hand. He's the best of all the auctioneers. All right, boys. Folks, you've been wonderful. I'll see you on down the line, another place, another time. Let's go ahead and sell this hog and get out of here. You ready? Here we go. 45 to the fiddle and the fiddle and the fiddle, but you better make a fiddle on video. I'll give a video, feel the fiddle on the fiddle. Well, it's a fiddle and a fiddle and a fiddle. I believe a fiddle and I make a fiddle and a fiddle. I sold a hog for a $50 bill, and I sold a hog for a $50 bill. Hey, well, all right, something in the welcome board. You got my line number 29 in. What do you want me to get it for? I got 20, 35, 30, 7 and a half, but going once, going twice. Sold it to Chris Trulson, $35.
Everybody's on their feet for the Cody Norris Show, everybody. Yes, that is the stuff. Thank you, brother. I think you all enjoyed that, didn't you? Again, to check out the Cody Norris Show, visit their website, thecodynorrisshow.com for more information. They're on the road all the time. Also, check out the Farm and Fun Time Noon Show, which they're on every Friday from noon to noon 30. And now, folks, it is time for our Farm Report. Yes, it's that time for the Radio Bristol Farm Report, made possible by HVAC and Ed Hill, a full-service specialty contractor offering a full complement of building solutions for plumbing, heating, ventilation, building automation, geothermal, solar, wind, and more. For more information, visit hvacbristol.com. The Appalachian Sustainable Development Farm Report profiles regional farmers helping to strengthen our community through sustainable, eco-friendly practices and helping to positively impact our region's food access and health. Every month we visit a regional farm and do a profile piece on that farm. And this month we visited a different kind of farm, the fish farm, folks. We headed over to Irwin National Fish Hatchery, one of the oldest hatcheries in the U.S., established in 1894, where they produce 13 million disease-free eggs annually for federal, state, and tribal hatcheries to support their fishery management efforts. There we met with hatchery manager Norm Heil, who worked with us through the production, or who walked us through the production. Let's watch the farm report to learn more.
My name's Norman Heil. I usually go by Norm. We're at the Irwin National Fish Hatchery in Irwin, Tennessee. Our mission here is to raise rainbow trout eggs. So we have the type of fish we have here are rainbow trout. We also have brook trout. And so the process is we raise them to adults and we physically strip the eggs out, fertilize the eggs artificially, and then we incubate them and raise them to what they call the eyed egg stage. Then we process them and we sort them, enumerate them, and then we ship them across the country to various trout hatcheries, state trout hatcheries, and tribal hatcheries. Once the eggs hatch, we keep a portion of those eggs for future brood stock. So it takes approximately 18 months to 2 years for them to grow in the hatchery from hatch to fingerling to yearlings and then to adults. By the time they're adults, they're 2 years old. It takes about, from the actual spawning, it takes approximately 3 weeks for the eggs to develop and ship them. Also, on the economic side of it, every tax dollar used for production here in this hatchery system produces about $72 worth of benefits to the economy. So it's money well spent for the product that we're producing. Part of my education, I always wanted to work with fish, and so my education is in biology. So I like to fish when I was growing up. So this is great for me. I got to do what I wanted to do, and that's basically raise fish for a living.
To learn more about food and farming, visit Appalachian Sustainable Development's website at asdevelop.org. A big thanks to Norm for showing us around the hatchery. Really, really cool production they have there. And for our listeners at home, of course, you can always visit those farm reports on our Facebook page at WBCM Radio Bristol. All right, we're going to jump into another lovey-dovey song for Valentine's Day. This is one we haven't done in quite some time. This one here is called Oh Johnny, How You Can Love, Oh Johnny, Heavens Above.
Sit still a little, I said, oh Johnny, pray tell me do what makes me love you so. You're not handsome, it's true, but when I look at you, I'm just, oh Johnny, oh. Oh Johnny, how you can love. Oh Johnny, heavens above. Sit still a little, I said, oh Johnny, pray tell me do what makes me love you so. You're not handsome, it's true, but when I look at you, I'm just, oh Johnny, oh. Oh, play some of that old ragtime Johnny.
It's Ragtime Annie, you fool.
Ragtime Annie? Annie who? Got $2 I can borrow, I sure could use it.
Not for a bum like you.
A bum like me? Well, fine, I didn't need it anyhow. I needed more like $10. Say 20 would do.
Oh Johnny, how you can love. Oh Johnny, heavens above. You make my sad heart jump with joy. And when you are near, I can't sit it's still a little. I said, oh Johnny, pray tell me do what makes me love you so. You're not handsome, it's true, but when I look at you, I'm just oh Johnny, oh.
All right, and now time for a word from Window World Tri-Cities.
Baseballs, double hung and sliders, Window World, they're your window provider. Their selection, it just keeps getting wider of baseballs, double hung and sliders.
Yes, for baseballs, double hung and sliders, it's Window World. All our products are custom built and American made. For free in-home consultation, windowworldtricities.com.
Baseballs, double hung and sliders, Window World, they're your window provider. Their selection, it just keeps getting wider of baseballs, double hung and sliders.
Thank you, Window World Tri-Cities. All right, it is time for our next featured act of the evening. We've got two virtuosic and unique guitar players with us tonight, folks. We've got Wayne Henderson and Presley Barker. Wayne is a National Heritage Fellowship recipient and a world-renowned luthier who specializes in a very distinct fingerstyle guitar approach. And Presley Barker has been flat-picking guitar for almost a decade, over a decade, learning knee to knee from Wayne and other masters in the region. Presley's developed a style all his own, leading to many blue ribbons, including the 80th Annual Galax Old Time Fiddlers Convention for guitar picking, as well as West Virginia State Flat Picking Guitar Champion. These two have been playing together for quite some time, and we're really pleased to have them on the program this evening, folks. So please, give a big farm and fun time welcome to Wayne Henderson and Presley Barker.
Thank y'all.
Thank you all so much. We really appreciate that, and it's wonderful to be here. And I'm probably one of the few geezers here that's old enough to remember hearing Farm and Fun Time. You know, I was raised up on a small farm, and my dad was an old-time fiddler, and he really liked music. And I can remember when that show came on in the middle of the day, and when we'd go to the house to have dinner. I mean, it's in the middle of the day for us, supper at night. But Farm and Fun Time was on. I remember hearing it. Presley, ready to pick? Now, this ain't going to be nothing too fancy here. It's pretty, you know, I always like to feel like I'm just sitting on the couch or the front porch picking for you. And nothing too formal or anything. So we're just going to try to jam some for you. And is that okay with you, Presley?
That's great. That's great.
Wonderful to be picking this young man right here. He's one of my favorite people in the world, besides how he can pick and play and sing, and wonderful gentleman. I'm just glad that he'll come up here and pick an old geezer like me, you know.
No, I'm
Anyway,
lucky to get to see you.
So, Presley, why don't you do us a little something there?
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. We really appreciate you being so nice to us. And Presley, how about picking us something? Presley is a Doc Watson fan, and I've always been a Doc fan. He was a good friend of mine and pretty close neighbor, and he hung out in my shop an awful lot, and I did a lot of guitar work for him, worked on his instruments and things. He was a wonderful person and around, and always one of my favorite pickers. And Presley plays a tune that Doc, when he came out with those records in the 60s that had guitar tunes on them that made us all want to learn how to play the guitar. They did one called Nashville Picking, and I used to try to learn and get my mom to set the needle back on that record. She was a very patient person and would do that. Never did learn that tune very good, but Presley can play it just like Doc did. So
No.
how about doing that Nashville Picking for us?
Love to.
Mr. Presley Barker right there. I'm so proud of this young man for picking like that and being, he's humble and nice and just he got to hanging out up in my shop to get a guitar built, and I discovered how he could pick and I, gave him some lessons. He's learned every lick I know, and now he's on to higher briars and bigger berries and stuff like that. And does a great job. And let's, while we're into Doc stuff, let's do one more. This tune Doc was, when he made those records I was talking about there, would take like old songs of all kinds and turn them into a guitar instrumental. And this is one that he did, and the song was I Don't Love Nobody, an old-time song. And when he recorded that, wherever it was, in the recording studio, the engineer, after he got through playing, asked him what the title of that song was. And Doc misunderstood him and thought he was bragging on his picking. And he said, "Oh, there ain't nothing to it." And when that record came out, that was the name of that tune. So Doc always called this tune Nothing to It. So we'll try to do it. Thank you. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate that. That's very nice. And Presley, how about singing us one?
Sure, I'd love to do that.
When he's coming up there and, asking about a guitar and taking some guitar lessons and stuff, I told him, you need to learn how to sing. That's something I never, ever did. I was always bashful and shy or something, or maybe I didn't have a voice or something. I just never could sing or never learned to, and I told him, you need to do that. And so he's started working on it, and he's gotten pretty daggone good at it. So you might sing us a couple of things.
Sure, I'd love to. And I'm so honored to get to sit beside this fella right here. Y'all know he's literally a legend, y'all. Give him a hand, y'all. It's just really great. I get to sit here and play one of his guitars. I'm lucky. I have 3 of his guitars, and I'm super blessed and just real honored to play one of his guitars, and so awesome to be here at the birthplace of country music. And I guess the last time I was in this room right here, I was competing, I think, for the Bristol Rhythm and Roots Festival. They was holding like a guitar competition thing. I think I was like 8 or 9 or something since I was in here. So it's cool to be back here. And we might sing you one that Elvis Presley made famous. I'm a big Elvis fan. And no, I wasn't named after him, but I am a big Elvis fan. But here's one that he kind of made famous, I guess, and this was called That's All Right. Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right with you. That's all right, Mama. Just any way you do, and that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Well, anything you do. Well, now, Mama, she done told me. Papa done told me too. Son, that gal you fooling with, she ain't no good for you. But that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Well, anything you do. That's Wayne Henderson, everybody. Y'all give him a hand. Well, I'm leaving town, baby. I'm leaving town for sure. And then you want to be bothered with me hanging around your door, but that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's all right now, Mama. Well, anything you do. Well, I'm da-da-dee, a-dee-da-dee-dee, dee-dee-da-dee-dee. I need your loving. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Anything you do. Thank y'all. Thank you very much.
Good job, Presley.
Thank you.
I don't know too much about those Elvis tunes because he wasn't ever on Farm and Fun Time. but anyway, I got through that. Okay.
What about
doing us a Delmore Brothers?
Okay. Sounds good. Man, I've been enjoying this show. I don't know about y'all, but man, I've been enjoying this. I really enjoyed. Thank a lot of the Bill and the Bells, and I guess they're the main ones that got us here, and we appreciate them for having us on the show. And also Cody Norris, man, that was entertaining.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Amazing.
It was. I like that. So we're gonna do a Delmore Brothers song for him. A little song right here called "Gonna Lay Down My Old Guitar." lay down my old guitar. Lay down my old guitar. Well, I wish I could tie you to my side and take it along with me. Lord, I'm sick in this lonesome bed. Well, I'm sick in this lonesome bed with no one to hold my aching head. And I'm sick in this lonesome bed. I'm gonna lay down my old guitar. Gonna lay down my old guitar. Well, I wish I could tie it to my side and take it along with me. All right, Wayne. There's no one to cry for me. Yeah, no one to cry for me. Well, I wander so far away, don't you see? And there's no one to cry for me. Gonna lay down my old guitar. Yeah, gonna lay down my old guitar. I wish I could tie you to my side, well, then take it along with me. Telling this world goodbye. Well, I'm telling this world goodbye. Well, I'm telling this world and my dear little girl, and I'll soon tell them all goodbye. Gonna lay down my old guitar. Yeah, gonna lay down my old guitar. I wish I could tie you to my side, well, then take it along with me. Thanks.
Well, let's see. Pick you. Do Black Mountain? Or?
That's a good one.
That'd be okay.
What about you telling them a story before we do it?
Okay.
Y'all want to hear a story from
well,
the man of storytelling?
Well, I live up there in Rugby, just across White Top Mountain from here, and not much goes on. I live in a place that's only got 7 people. So I see a crowd this big, I get sort of nervous and excited. But I was trying to think of something I could tell about. One of my favorite things to tell about is where I went to school up there, the old school building. It was a 2-room schoolhouse, and there was 3 grades in one room and 4 in the other. Went to the 1st to the 7th grade, and that old building's still standing there at the end of my road. And I'm going to tell you this little tale about, I guess when I was maybe 3rd grade or something, our teacher was just absolutely wonderful. We just loved her, and she was, we just thought the world of her, and her birthday was coming up, and we wanted to get her something good for her birthday. But most of all those kids were like me. They lived on small farms, and we grew what we had to eat, and always had plenty like that, but something we never had as much money. And so we figured out about a few of those kids that went to school, their parents had businesses. And so we selected 3 of them and see if we could get them to, get a present for the teacher and then act like it's from all of us. And so that worked. They went for that. That was a good plan, and it worked good. But anyway, that first kid we figured out, their parents owned the local grocery store down in town in the county seat, and so they brought in a present for the teacher, and she opened up, and sure enough, it's full of nice fruits and vegetables and good stuff like that. And the teacher loved that. That was good. And the next kid, you know, that we selected, their parents owned the local shoe store down there, and so she opened that package up and brought in. Sure enough, it was a real nice pair of shoes. That's exactly the right size. Everything, and an extra pair of socks to go with them too. And that third kid, the little girl that we selected, we thought they could afford something. Her parents owned the liquor store down there. And thought, well, you know, they for sure do good. You know, they can afford something. And when she had a pretty good sized box, the package to open up, and when she picked it up to look at it, something started leaking out the end of it. Went all over her hand here, and she took a little lick and smelled and said, "Is that wine?" The little girl said, "Nope." And she looked a little closer, poured out, and even more so, all over her hand, wrist, took another lick and a smell, said, "Is that champagne?" The little girl said, "Nope, nope, it's a puppy."
That's a true story right there. That's a true story. Really?
Well,
that's story time with Wayne Henderson, y'all.
Yeah, I guess sometimes I say that's the news from Lake Rugby there. Well, let's pick one, Presley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Presley Barker over here. Thank y'all so much for having us. If you ever venture all the way across the mountain over in Rugby, don't all come at the same time, or don't. Try not to be there around 5 o'clock, you know, the traffic and stuff. But outside of that, you're welcome to come by there anytime. Come by the guitar shop. I've been building these guitars for 50-some years, and this old guitar is number 52, and I'm working on number 786 right now. And when I got up to number 752, I made Presley that one. Hopefully, try to make it look like this one. So that's pretty cool, and I'm proud of him so much for playing my guitars, and along with everybody else that does, and it just, that's my thrill in life, is get to over and make sawdust in that shop, and then see somebody like Presley play them like they do, you know. So that's pretty cool. I've made them for you know, Eric Clapton and Doc and Ricky Skaggs and Vince Gill and folks like that. That's pretty exciting to see them. Ricky plays his all the time, I think, but to see Presley wear one out like that, that's the big deal to me. So, y'all stop by anytime you can over there, and let's pick a little bit of Steel Guitar Rag. That's one of my favorite guitar tunes to play, and we'll do that one. And thank you so much for having us.
Y'all. It's a real honor for us to be here. And y'all give one hand to Mr. Josh in the back for running the sound. He does a great job. Give him a hand, y'all. Thanks, everybody, again. Y'all have a good night. Thank you. name's Presley Barker, and that's Wayne Henderson, everybody. We appreciate y'all so much, and thank you for all the Radio Bristol. Y'all have a good night, all right? Thank you. Thank y'all.
Presley Barker and Wayne Henderson, everybody. Everybody's on their feet once again. Fantastic performance from Wayne and Presley. Honored to have them here on Farm and Fun Time for the first time. I think you all enjoyed tonight's show, am I right? Good. Huge thanks to Wayne Henderson and Presley Barker, the Cody Norris Show, Renee Rogers, Irwin National Fish Hatchery, ASD, HVAC in Ed Hill, ARCD, Window World Tri-Cities, our great engineer Josh Littleton, and the whole Radio Bristol team. Give them a big hand. And of course, you, our wonderful live audience, thank you so much for being such a great audience and coming through every month. Next month, we've got a great show lined up for our annual Radio Bristol Fun Drive. We've got Jim Lauderdale with the Fireside Collective. Also, Miss Tess and the Talkbacks. The show is nearly sold out, so make sure to go and get those tickets while you can. And, of course, don't forget to check out the Farm and Fun Time Noon Show made possible. Yeah. Cody, yeah. I think I just got a good new idea for a show. It features Cody Norris, everybody. The Farm and Fun Time Noon Show, made possible by Permatile Concrete Products. Treat each other right, keep your clothes on, and we'll see you next time. Here's a song. We'll play you a Tennessee song. Take me back to Tennessee. Thank you for tuning in to Radio Bristol's Farm and Fun Time, made possible by Eastman Credit Union. Wherever life takes you, ECU is by your side. To hear more from Radio Bristol, download our app or visit us at listenradiobristol.org. I'm your host, Chris Truls, and along with Bill and the Bells, thanking you for listening to Radio Bristol's Farm and Fun Time. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next month. Make sure to support the artists as you leave, and happy Valentine's Day to y'all. And a big thanks to our donor for those red roses. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.